Super Mario Odyssey is no different than any other main series Mario title in that it introduces a wide array of amazing new enemies to the Mario universe. In this video, I wanted to rank them the top 5 greatest enemies introduced in Super Mario Odyssey. Let's just jump right into it. For the number 5 spot, I chose the Chinshows. These guys are primarily found in the Sand Kingdom at nighttime, and their concept is actually pretty interesting. You can see them on the screen right now. They're little mini zombie creatures that spawn out of the ground, and sometimes there could be a lot of them on the screen at once that Mario has to deal with. It'll really help you use Cappy's spin attack in this situation because it's a great way to deal with these guys. I love their design too. They're a combination of cute and scary, which I find is very interesting, although they're more on the scary side when you are going up against them in the Sand Kingdom. Unlike any other enemy on this list, the Chinshows cannot be captured, so you cannot take control of them. They're like any other enemy in past Mario games, completely your foes, ones that you try to destroy or run away from if you do not know how to deal with them. I mean, being completely honest, if you just want to try to jump on them to defeat them, that's not going to work the best. They can easily overwhelm you, although they're not the most challenging enemy in the Mario series. I mean, come on, Lee. I don't want to oversell these guys too much. Still very interesting concepts, though. I really like that an enemy like this, a more spooky one, is being introduced when this game is being released around Halloween time in the year. You know, just throwing something like that in there. For number 4, I chose the Sherms. It's pretty rare when you see a tank in a Mario game, but Super Mario Odyssey has one, and you can actually take control of it. The main use of the Sherm is in the Mecha Wiggler boss fight in New Donk City in Super Mario Odyssey, and no, that is not a spoiler because we found out about that before the release of the game. But where they're used in that scenario pretty much just explains how amazing the Sherm is. They're a tank that'll fire bullets at you, but you can actually take control of it and fire these bullets at Mecha Wiggler and try to defeat him. It just feels so cool taking control of this tank in the Mario game. The design is very interesting too. It actually just makes it seem like it's a bit of a threat when you're going up against it, but it's cute enough at the same time so it looks like it's on your side when you've captured it. It really looks like it's teaming up with Mario. These guys are definitely ones that I would love to see in more Mario games in the future. More of the Sherms, please. For number 3, I just had to put these guys in there. Here are the T-Rexes. What shocked me about the E3 trailer for Super Mario Odyssey was finally seeing this gigantic prehistoric creature on my screen. What is this? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's an absolute monstrosity. Just using it for the first time in the Cascade Kingdom was proof enough that this guy means business. He can destroy walls and many enemies around you, but he's pretty fearsome when you're walking up towards him. This screenshot released before Super Mario Odyssey came out pretty much just explains how big of a threat this guy can be and how scary he is when he's not on your side after you captured him. Now, we have seen dinosaur enemies in the Mario series before. I'd like to point out the Rexes, which I subtly mentioned in my top 10 Mario enemies that should be in more games video, as well as the Draglet, which I completely talked about as an entry in that video. Those enemies are getting highlighted more and more, most recently in the Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions game, although T-Rexes, big ones like this, have never been seen in the Mario series before. Those guys that I was just talking about are much smaller and more like the average size of a Mario enemy, but this guy is huge. I can just not get myself to imagine this guy in a 2D Mario game. He's explicitly designed to work with this incredibly open and huge 3D world that Super Mario Odyssey provides, and it works very well for that scenario. For number 2, I chose the Moai. I could definitely see these ones becoming a very iconic enemy in the Mario series just because of their design. These guys are living Moai statues with their incredible sunglasses. Man, I need to get a pair of those. But the sunglasses are an integral part of this enemy, and the concept is absolutely incredible. I mean, if it were just for the design, the enemy may have made the list, but the concept seals the deal. It's incredible. So what do these guys do? Well, if you actually capture them and then put on their sunglasses, you can see platforms that are invisible. When Mario is in his normal state, he cannot see some of the platforms that the Moai can with his sunglasses on. Now, the Moais do move very slowly, so it's not an ideal way to get around with them, especially even though they have feet, they cannot jump, so you can't get on higher platforms either. You have to actually use platforms that move up and down. However, everything that the Moai can't do kind of balances out with everything that it can do. There's a lot of positives to the Moai and very little negative, so it's extremely beneficial for you to capture them whenever they're in your sight. because you could certainly use some of theirs. And for the number 1 spot, I just had to choose the Uproots. When I first saw these guys in the Wooded Kingdom gameplay before the release of Super Mario Odyssey, I was amazed by them. I instantly knew that they were going to become one of my favorite enemies, and after playing Super Mario Odyssey and experiencing capturing them firsthand, my love for these enemies just skyrocketed. So initially, with their pots on, these guys can seem kind of scary, but once you knock them off, it reveals the incredibly cute inside of the Uproot, and then once you capture it, you can actually spring up like the Uproot's ability does, so it could allow you to gain access to higher locations. There's some very interesting moon challenges that the Uproot is implemented in, and some that you could only get using the Uproot. So not only is it a convenience, but also a great necessity, and I really wouldn't even want to have to use it out of necessity anyway. I just love using the Uproot in general. They just have an incredible design, an incredible concept allowing you to spring up, and I would love to see them in more games. Now, if you're really interested in Mario enemies, I have been making a series of videos like this. I'll leave you the link to the playlist on the screen right now. If you enjoyed this one, I'm sure you'll enjoy some of my others. I've talked about enemies from Mario 64, Mario 3, Mario World, so many more games, enemies that are underused, and more. It's all in that playlist. I really think you'll enjoy it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one, because I'm going to be releasing more top 10s and top 5s very soon. Thank you so much for watching, guys.